Thank you. My name is Patricia Opio, and I am an international marketing manager at Jurlique. Founded in 1985, Jurlique is a vertically integrated leader in the natural skincare market. The company utilizes botanicals grown on a biodynamic farm in South Australia, together with the finest natural ingredients sourced globally to produce highly efficacious products. As a result of market saturation, rising labour and energy costs, Jurlique needs to look abroad again. India is projected to continue growing at a robust pace, supported by lower global commodity prices, policy actions, and reduced external vulnerabilities. The purpose of this presentation is to analyse the market attractiveness of India, to examine the ramifications for market entry and marketing strategy, and lastly to present justifications for entering this market. In order to do this, we shall review the economic profile and the domestic economic conditions of India. This is followed by an assessment of the external economic relations, the strengths and weaknesses of the economy, and to conclude, the ramifications of the economic environment for Jurlique will be examined. India has emerged as the fastest growing major economy in the world, with its 1.3 billion plus population. The expanding middle class of almost 300 million is fueling demand-led growth, with real GDP growth at 7.65% in 2015-16. The GDP per capita was recorded at $1,805.58 in 2015. Inflation currently stands in the nation at 5.30%. India's balance of payments swung to a surplus in December 2015. This signifies an upturn in its financial position that forecasters believe may prove resistant to global economic fragility. The data that we obtained from the central bank showed a narrowing of the current account deficit to $7.1 billion. The Indian rupee has witnessed a moderate volatility and is currently at 66.86 this September. Jurlique has acquired the skills of an astute financial manager for managing and hedging economic exposure. The labour force participation rate is projected to trend an impressive 55.32% in 2020. Now, India's large upcoming youth bulge shall produce a wave of workers for the economy. Conversely, employment growth is almost exclusively concentrated in the informal economy. And this is just a few of what I've spoken about the data put together in graphs to show you the strength of the economic growth of India. Looking at the domestic economic conditions for Jurlique, two key industries are the automotive and the banking financial service industry. Jurlique falls under the retail sector. India's retail market is expected to nearly double to $1 trillion by 2020. Major imports within the retail sector include consumer electronics and home appliances. Now, major exports are the herbal cosmetics, which have a great demand in the overseas market. Over 49% of Indian exports are delivered to other Asian countries. Jurlique's direct competitors are Pond's, Fair and Lovely, and the country's own Lakme. To gain a strategic advantage, we shall need to position our products strongly against competitors' offerings in the minds of our Indian consumers. Now, having spoken about all this data, what does it mean to Jurlique? With consumer confidence reaching new highs, the company should prepare for high growth and demand by creating the capabilities and capacity required to serve our targeted market. With inflation showing no signs of increasing, Jurlique would be able to secure operating capital at lower cost. This is the opportunity to kickstart investments in research and development in the highly in-demand skin brightening and anti-aging serums. Looking at the external economic relations, India is Australia's 10th largest trading partner. The Australian government is seeking to deepen trade through the conclusion of a comprehensive economic cooperation agreement, which is yet to be finalised. It is in the interest of Jurlique that Australia convince India to fast-track the trade deal that it has, given that it has become a top recipient of foreign direct investment. Current Indian government reforms have undertaken significant steps to attract stable, non-debt creating capital flows, particularly foreign direct investment. India has been a member of the World Trade Organization since 1995. As a result of its membership, Jurlique shall benefit from ongoing adjustments of India's increased transparency in business investment opportunities, operation and regulation. Despite its trade agreements and commitments under the World Trade Organization, India has significant tariff and non-tariff barriers that limit its trade with the world. Most of the agreements offer only partial access to markets limited to specific goods. India imposes and maintains an average applied tariff of 12.4%, which is among the highest in the world. We have already touched on the strengths of the economy. Let's look at some others. India recorded growth in an adverse global environment during the financial crisis and the global financial crisis. It is the fastest growing free market democracy. Increasing deregulation is allowing whole sectors to be competitive. It is the most favoured destination for foreign direct investment in 2015 and 16. India's knowledge economy has emerged as a major global source based on a large pool of scientific infrastructure and creative powers in terms of human resources. It has the largest working age population in the world, with about 1/3 under the age of 25. Now, there are some hindrances when it does come at the economy. Let's look at the weaknesses. Poor infrastructure with both local and foreign companies experiencing traffic gridlocks and power outages is a normal occurrence. Ports and airports have inadequate capacity, with trains moving quite slowly. India remains one of the least digitally connected nations, with fewer than 1 in 5 Indians accessing the internet and fewer than 2 in 5 estimated to own a mobile phone. More than 400 million of India's people still live in poverty. Now, given the annual per capita income, it is still among the poorest of the world's middle income countries. Inequity in all dimensions, including region, caste and gender, still need to be addressed. Disadvantaged groups need to be brought into the mainstream and women empowered to take their rightful place in the socio-economic fabric of the country. Let's have a look at the ramifications of the economic environment for Jurlique. Given the growth of the economy, an increase in buying power is evident, with a considerable amount of products being more easily absorbed into the economy than in other markets. We do know that India has a developing appetite for foreign products, particularly in the beauty sector. Jurlique is to target a luxury market comprising of the substantial middle class and relatively large affluent within the Indian cosmetic sector. Originally, we focused on females, Jurlique did, within the Generation Y and X categories. We have since expanded to include products for babies. We know that localized products are attractive to Indian consumers. India's large pool of scientific infrastructure shall benefit the company's development center in utilizing research and testing to ensure that we continue inventing products that suit Indian styles and needs. An example being potent skin brightening and herbal serums that are non-harmful to the skin. The company will rely on a differentiated targeting strategy that has worked in other countries. An example being one essential oil created for women, another for babies, and to create different marketing mixes around each one would be undertaken. We know that word of mouth is vital given its limited internet and mobile access. We could link with a number of well-known local developers to develop our brand awareness. Affluent Indian consumers already know the brand from their travels abroad. We also know that the combination of cultural traditions and Bollywood heavily influence the beauty and cosmetic market in India. A positioning strategy would focus on building a link between Bollywood and the importance of great skin. Television commercials centered around Bollywood actresses, known also for a clean way of living, is suggested. Given the huge population, Jurlique is able to provide innovations such as hand cream sachets that are inexpensive, single-use instances of our desired products for our consumers who are only able to spend a little at a time. Every business operating overseas exposes itself to some level of economic risk that affects its everyday operational profitability. We managers are constantly reassessing the level of risk that our companies may face. India's recent growth and development has been one of the most significant achievements of our time. The size of the Indian retail beauty and cosmetic industry is currently estimated as 950 million. The cosmetics and beauty market of India is full of opportunities and is a potential goldmine for Jurlique. Thank you for listening to this presentation. Should you have any questions, my contact details are on the literature review. Thank you.